Centuries before Arnold Schwarzenegger was blowing dudes away as the Terminator, there was a man in ancient China sent on a mission to kill a king. He was known as the Assassinator. Get ready, folks. Heads are about to roll. Introducing Jing Ke.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
In the 3rd century BC, during the crazy Warring States period, a young prince named Dan was captured by King Yingzheng. King Zheng's Qin army had amassed an incredible amount of power and was on the path to crushing his enemies and officially take control over all of China. He was remembered by traditional Chinese historians as a horrible tyrant who destroyed countless academic literature and sentenced intellectuals to death by being burned or buried alive. After escaping captivity, Prince Dan returned to his homeland of Yan and began devising a plan to put an end to the king named Ying of Qin. Damn it, that almost rhymed. In order for his assassination mission to work, Prince Dan required someone of great skill and unwavering devotion. He enlisted help from Master Tianguang, a man known for having a great tactical mind, as well as being exceptionally skilled with a blade. The master believed that a plan could work, but he was too old to carry out the mission. Instead, to take on the mission, he recommended his favorite drinking buddy, the great Jing Ke. Jing Ke was an avid scholar and skilled swordsman who, despite his highly regarded skill set, had been unable to successfully start a career for himself. After his hometown was invaded by King Zheng's army, he spent his life traveling around China, drinking and doing odd jobs. Master Tianguang informed Jing Ke of the prince's assassination plan, and then, to show his loyalty to the prince, cut his own throat and died. Yeah, I'm not really sure why he did that either. After their meeting, Jing Ke and Prince Dan decided that the only way to get close enough to the king was to pretend that Jing Ke was a traitor and supply maps documenting where Prince Dan's military were stationed. They planned to conceal a thin blade hidden within the maps, so that as Jing was about to hand over the maps, he could strike. To further solidify his cover story, Jing Ke met with a general who had defected from the king's army and actually managed to convince him to kill himself so that Jing could present his head to King Zheng. With the general's head in hand, Jing Ke and 2 of his friends set off to kill the king. Upon their arrival in the Qin court, Jing Ke presented the general's head to the king and began unrolling the map. As no one was allowed to carry weapons in the court chambers, this was the perfect time to strike. Jing Ke reached for the king, but the king fell backwards because of his sudden movement. He then proceeded to chase the king around the court for a while until the royal doctor threw his medical bag at Jing, knocking him to the ground. The king's attendants then finally came to their senses and executed Jing Ke. And, well, that's pretty much the entire story. King Zheng sent his troops to crush the other states and became the first emperor of China. As emperor, he joined together much of the Great Wall and even survived another 2 assassination attempts. When the king died many years later, he was buried in his tomb, which is home to the world-famous terracotta warrior army. So, if Jing Ke's attempt to kill the man who would become the first emperor of China failed, why is he recognized as somewhat of a national hero? Seriously, there are movies, poetry, comics, shrines, and even video games about Jing Ke. Well, it's partly because of his extreme loyalty and willingness to sacrifice himself for the perceived greater good. Another reason is that the story has often been used throughout Chinese history as a means of inspiring resistance to authority, showing that even through failure against tyranny can be remembered throughout history. For me though, I just think it's another fascinating story of Chinese history that in this case comes to a comically abrupt end. So, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe. If you would like to see another of my Chinese history videos, check out this one, where we find out whether or not Disney's version of Mulan is actually better than the original. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm WooKong, and goodbye.